Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a piece of hardware that's really stirred things up in the Wi-Fi world. The TP-Link Archer BE9700.
That's right.
Our mission today is pretty straightforward.
Oh.
Let's unpack the sources on this Wi-Fi 7 router, because it sells for, well, a surprisingly low $200.
Yeah, it's stunningly low. That's what, half the price of the big flagships it's technically competing against?
Exactly. $400, $550 routers out there.
And the promise here is huge, right? It's claiming identical top-tier Wi-Fi 7 specs. We're talking 9.7 gigabit speeds, 320 megahertz channels.
All the buzzwords.
All the buzzwords. But as you'll see when we dig into the performance data, there's this pretty stark catch. It really explains why this device is so polarizing online.
Okay, let's start with the appeal then, because looking at the specs on paper, it's hard to resist. I mean, for $200, you're getting features normally reserved for much pricier gear.
Definitely. The standout, I think, has to be the 10 gigabit WAN port.
Right, that high-speed connection point. Most competitors, even those charging double, they often cap out at 2.5 gigabit.
Yeah, that 10 gig port is a huge draw for, more advanced users or people with really fast internet plans. But actually, before we even get to speed tests, we kind of have to mention the naming. It's a confusing hot mess, honestly.
Oh, how so?
TP-Link's marketing is just incredibly inconsistent. It's the BE9700 on their main website, right?
Yeah.
But then you go to Amazon or other big retailers, and it's often listed as the BE6000.
Wait, different names for the same router?
Exactly the same hardware. Just different labels depending on where you look. It's needlessly confusing for buyers.
Okay, well, if the marketing is a bit messy, let's see if the engineering holds up better. Let's look at the actual performance numbers. The independent testing seems to show this router has, like, a split personality.
That's a perfect way to put it. What jumps out immediately is its performance on the newest frequency band, 6 gigahertz. It's absolutely dominant there.
Dominant how?
I mean, for users really focused on that band, the BE9700 is, legitimately best in class for the price. Testing shows it hitting 2.5 gigabits out close.
Wow, okay.
And it maintains really good performance even out to, say, 120 feet. So if you're an early adopter, maybe with Wi-Fi 7 devices already, this actually delivers genuine Wi-Fi 7 value on that band.
That does sound like incredible value. But, okay, here comes the but, right? Here's the paradox.
Yep.
The moment you shift focus to the older bands, the 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz bands, which, let's be honest, is what most devices still use.
Till the vast majority, yeah.
The router just completely stumbled. The sources we looked at show the BE9700 was consistently outperformed by TP-Link's own much cheaper model.
The BE3600, yeah, their $99 dual band router.
$99.
$99. And that's the critical insight here. We're not talking small differences. There's a significant performance gap on those, legacy frequencies.
Give me an example.
Okay, so in congested environments, like simulating a busy home network, the cheaper BE3600 actually more than doubled the speeds of this flagship spec BE9700 on the 2.4 gigahertz band.
Doubled?
Yeah, think like 205 megabits for the cheap one versus a sluggish 80 megabits for the BE9700.
Okay, hold on. You're telling me a $200 Wi-Fi 7 router, supposedly built for speed, gets fundamentally beaten on older frequencies by a device less than half its price from the same company.
That's what the tests show.
Yeah.
It really suggests a pretty severe trade-off in where they focus the engineering resources.
Yeah.
Maybe all the effort went into that 6 gigahertz band and the 10 gig port.
Seems like it. And does this translate into user complaints?
Oh, absolutely. The user experience reports really echo this mixed bag. We saw multiple reports citing frustrating intermittent Wi-Fi drops.
Like just losing connection.
Yeah, devices show they're connected, signal bars look fine, but there's just no internet access, maybe for a minute or two.
Yeah.
And it happens like once or twice a day for some users.
But wired connections are okay.
Wired connections seem unaffected, yeah. It's purely a wireless stability issue being reported.
And what about those fancy Wi-Fi 7 features? Like MLO.
Right, multi-link operation. That's supposed to be a key benefit of Wi-Fi 7, bonding all three frequencies, 2.4, 5, and 6 gigahertz, simultaneously for better stability and speed. But user reports suggest it's often only managing to bond two frequencies, not all three as intended, so maybe not delivering the full MLO promise consistently.
Okay, so summing this up, what does this mean for someone listening thinking about buying this?
Well, the ultimate decision really seems to hinge entirely on your specific needs in your home network. The BE9700 could be an unprecedented value if,
Yeah, if.
If you're an advanced user primarily focused on maximizing that 6 gigahertz performance, and crucially, if you actually need or can utilize that 10 gigabit WAN port. For that specific user, it might be great.
Right. But if you're, like most people, living in a mixed environment, lots of older devices on 2.4 gigahertz, maybe some on 5 gigahertz.
Then you might genuinely get better, more stable performance on those bands and save yourself about $100 by just buying that cheaper BE3600 dual band router instead.
It's a really stark choice then.
It is.
Yeah.
And it leads us to, I think, a final provocative thought for you to consider. If a company like TP-Link can clearly achieve best-in-class speeds on the very newest frequency, 6 gigahertz, and do it at this kind of budget price point, why do these fundamental performance and stability issues pop up so strongly on the older, frankly more established bands?
What does that trade-off tell us about priorities?
Exactly. What does this choice tell us about how companies are prioritizing development for budget-friendly, cutting-edge tech right now? Is it all about the shiny new thing, even if the basics suffer? Something to think about.